Hi, welcome to CoderDojo Virtual Edition. My name is Lori. This is the 5th session in our winter series where we have learned how to develop our own website using HTML and CSS. Today we're going to take a look at the box model where we can center our work, add padding around the content, change the margins, wrap the text, and a number of different stylizing elements. In the box model, there are 4 different properties. We have the margin, the border, padding, and content. The content is the area that we have been working in at all times so far. Although all 4 boxes are always present, the 3 other boxes have been invisible because we haven't specified them yet. To see the content box, let's specify a background color. In our last session, we named paragraph 1, which is this blue paragraph. We called it para 1. Then when we went to style it in CSS, we called it dot para 1, and we had the color of the font blue. To look at the content box, we're going to give a background color to para 1. So let's say background hyphen color and we have our background color as yellow. We can see our content box for para 1 right here in yellow. The other 3 boxes are here still, but remain invisible. It's important to note that every element on our web page has a box model. You'll notice how close the text is to the edge of the content box. It doesn't look great that way, so let's go and specify, add some space around it using the padding box. In our style sheet, let's add some padding to the para 1 box. So here's where we added background color yellow. Now we're going to say padding, colon, and let's say 20 pixels. There you see, we have added some more padding to the content box, and in my opinion, it looks quite a bit better. Now let's add a border here. To do so, there are 3 properties to border. So in the same rule where we added our padding, we're going to say border hyphen color, colon, we're going to say black, border hyphen width, We will set it at 2 pixels and border hyphen style, we will say solid. And there you have it. We have a nice border around our content and padding box. The last property in our box model is the margin. And this is the margin here. The space between the border and the edge of the page. And the browser does automatically set a margin, but we can also modify that. So let's now try to change the margin space in our box model. We'll stay in the same line of code that we've been using because we are working with para 1. And now I'm going to type margin, colon, and I'm going to say 100 pixels just so that it's going to be really clear that we've done this. And there you can see we now have a large margin around. I'm going to change this now, and I'm going to say margin top 100 pixels. So you can see now that we have just the default margin on the left and right and bottom, and we've got our 100 pixels on the top. When I just write margin, it goes all the way around. So I'm going to go back to margin all the way around and do something less than 100 pixels. See if we can make this look nice. And there's 50. So that stands out quite nicely. I think I'm going to change it to maybe 20. That's better. And remember that each element here, so this H1 is also a box. And we could apply the box model to this H1 just as we have to para 1. I'm now going to share with you this interactive tool that you can use to set your margins, padding, border, and content boxes using the box model. So I'll click on this. So box sizing, padding. So let's change the padding over on this side. Top padding we've increased, and you can see what that does. But if we also increase the right, bottom, and left, you can see how all of this impacts the box in CSS. Let's take a look at the margins now. Let's make them a little larger. And I'm just going to, well, yeah. So I'll do all of them. And you can see that the numbers that we would need to set it like this are listed right down here. Now I'm going to go to the border, and I think I would like to have, well, let's just for fun make the top border quite wide. We'll make the sides a little bit wider, and we'll make the bottom border as wide as the top. And you can see what that looks like. So you can play around with this simulator box model and come up with the numbers that will help you to get what it is you're looking for in the style on each and every element in your web page. That's all for today. I did think I might introduce some really interesting commands, but I think this is enough for today. Next session, we'll look at some really easy to apply, but effective commands to style in CSS.